All right, let's talk about something that I am absolutely certain every single person watching has dealt with. That super mysterious and yeah, kind of embarrassing moment when you forget someone's name, like seconds after you hear it.
You know the scene, right? You're at a party, a work thing, whatever. Someone sticks out their hand, says, "Hi, I'm," and they tell you their name. You say yours back, and then, poof, it's just gone, just vanished into thin air. And you're left with that awkward feeling of, oh no, I have no idea what to call this person I literally just met.
And when that happens, what's the first thing we do? We blame ourselves, don't we? We think, ugh, I'm so bad with names. Or I must not have been listening. Or even, wow, that was really rude of me. It feels like it's our fault, you know? Like a personal failing, a glitch in our system.
But what if I told you that entire idea that you just have a bad memory is completely wrong? What if the problem isn't a flaw in you at all, but actually a core feature of how your brain is wired to work?
That's right. It turns out psychology gives us a much more reassuring and honestly a way more fascinating explanation. We're about to dive into why that mental blank isn't a sign of a faulty memory, but maybe, just maybe, a sign of a really efficient one.
So let's get this straight. When your brain drops a name, it isn't failing. It's actually just following its own very strict, very logical rules for what's worth keeping and what's not. It's a feature, not a bug. And today, we're going to figure out exactly why that feature is there.
Okay, so let's jump into the first major reason names just seem to evaporate. It all comes down to your brain's internal filing system, or more accurately, its decision not to file something in the first place.
So there's this idea in cognitive psychology called arbitrary labels. And it's pretty simple, really. To your brain, a name like John or Sarah is just a random collection of sounds. It has zero connection to anything you already know. It's not like hearing someone's a baker, which instantly brings up images of bread, ovens, kitchens. A name is just a piece of data floating in space with nothing to grab onto.
And because it's just this random floating label, here's what happens in your brain in a split second. The name comes in, and the brain's filter immediately goes, nope, no meaning here, no connections. And because of that, the whole process of actually storing it in your memory, well, it never even starts. And just like that, the information gets tossed to make room for something your brain thinks is more important.
But it's not just that the name itself is hard to file away. There's another huge thing happening. Your brain is incredibly busy doing a million other things in that exact same moment.
I mean, think about it. An introduction isn't just a simple exchange of data, right? It's this complex social performance. Your brain is dedicating all its processing power, its limited bandwidth, to managing your side of the interaction. It creates this huge cognitive traffic jam, and the name is just another car trying to merge onto an already packed highway.
So what's really going on in your head? Well, someone is saying, "Hi, I'm Sarah." Your internal monologue is going a mile a minute. You're thinking, okay, what do I say next? Am I making enough eye contact? Too much? Gosh, I hope I don't have something in my teeth. What kind of impression am I making? And by the time you tune back in, whoops, wait, what was their name again? It was never really heard in the first place.
All right, this third reason is maybe the most fundamental of them all, and it goes way, way back into our evolutionary history. Our brains simply were not built to care about names. They were built to prioritize something else entirely.
For thousands and thousands of years, our survival literally depended on being able to quickly tell a friend from an enemy, someone from our tribe from a stranger. And how do we do that? By looking at their faces. This skill was so vital that our brains actually evolved a specific, dedicated region, the fusiform face area, just for that job. There's no name area in the brain.
And that right there is the whole ballgame. When you put them side by side, it becomes crystal clear. For your brain, a face is high priority, VIP data. It gets processed by a specialized department. It's packed with information. A name, on the other hand, it's low priority data. It has no special brain region to go to. It's just an arbitrary label. This is exactly why you can remember a face for years, but forget the name that goes with it in an instant. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? Well, it's time to give yourself a break and completely reframe how you think about this whole thing.
Here it is, the bottom line. Forgetting a name does not mean your memory is broken. It actually means your brain is working perfectly. It's being ruthlessly efficient, tossing out random data, managing social overload, and prioritizing the visual information it evolved to focus on. It's a sign that your brain is doing its job.
And this really gets to the heart of how memory works in general. It's all about connection. Just like the quote says, our brains need to hook new information onto something that's already there, something familiar. If a piece of info, whether it's a name, a fact, or a new idea, can't find a hook, it's probably not going to stick around for long.
And this whole idea leaves us with one last pretty big thought to chew on. If our brain's default setting is to let go of unconnected information, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other important things are you learning or hearing that just slip away? Not because you have a bad memory, but just because you haven't found a way to make that connection yet. What are you waiting to connect?